Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale with a very special guest. I am joined by TopNotch. TopNotch, first time pro on the channel. I've been meaning to get you on for so long. How you doing, man?
Great, and yourself?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm about to travel out tomorrow, so really excited we could get you scheduled and record a little bit.
Awesome.
And you have a really cool deck to share with us, so I'm excited to get into it. Actually, I'm going to throw it up on the screen right here. It is an off-meta deck, and I want you to tell us all about it. But before we do that, before we get into the deck, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, when did you realize you were good? You're also a streamer. Tell us, you know, how long you've been playing Clash Royale and a little bit of your player background.
So I've been playing Clash Royale for probably about 11 months now.
Okay.
And I always knew I was decent at it, but I didn't realize until probably about 4 months ago that I was playing people, you know, higher trophies higher level cards at my trophy range, you know, consistently. And I realized I was starting to get pretty up there, you know, playing a while, grinding challenges, opening chests, just trying to get the card levels up. So I joined Reddit Alpha once I, you know, reached the trophy requirement, and I was playing some of the top players in there and, you know, competing on an equal level. So they told me that I should go to the King's Cup, which was where I placed third. And ever since then, it's just kind of been like I stayed in the competitive scene and practice, and now we're here.
Congrats again on that third place finish at the King's Cup. What do you think of the overall event? I was there too, but we didn't really get a chance to talk much. It was kind of hectic. But
Yeah.
Were you impressed by the event? Did you like it? Do you think they could do anything better? Or
The only thing I loved the event. The event was awesome. Prizes were insanely huge. It was just a great event.
What did you win for third?
7,500.
What? I didn't realize that third place was that high. Congrats,
Yeah.
man.
Thanks.
Nice.
The only thing I didn't like was the handicap, and I wouldn't even say handicap, but you know, you got to play on the podium, you have to play on their iPad, you know, all that stuff. I mean, I get why, but it just sucked.
Yeah, there was. Remember, I think that was the tournament that Chief Pat had like the technical difficulties with the tablet there. But yeah. Anyway, what did you get with the money? Anything interesting or?
It helped. I didn't use all of it, but it helped to get my new stream set up. I got
Awesome.
Pretty solid gaming equipment, keyboard, mouse, monitor, just knew everything basically. So yeah.
Sweet, man. Well, congrats again, and I'll be sure to link your stream and everything like that, all your information for Twitch in the description below, as always, guys, under the show notes. But let's go ahead and get to this deck, man. I think people are really going to like this deck. It's been forever since I've shared a Sparky deck on my channel, so I'm super stoked to have you on to tell us about it. You've been having a lot of success with the deck. This isn't just a cutesy little, you know, something different deck. This is actually a deck that works. So tell us a little bit about it, and then we'll hop into some replays and then hop into some live matches.
Okay, so the deck is, it's definitely a bait deck, you know? So it definitely falls under the bait category, and what it is it's almost more of a counter push deck. So you should either be setting your defense up, or you should be pressuring really quick. So Knight Goblin Barrels are really quick pressure, Princess at the Bridge, even just Goblin Barrel. And you kind of all do that while you stall. So they drop a tank in the back, then you go Sparky in the back. That's Sparky's use in this deck. And it's kind of hard countered by Lightning because you have 2 resets. So if you drop Inferno and Sparky, you got to be careful for Lightning because it'll reset Sparky and Inferno. But it's basically, you just want to make them zap one of the targets. Because obviously they can't zap both unless they have Lightning. And if they got Lightning, you got the Skarmy, Knight, just all kinds of versatile ways to stop their push. And then on the counter, you can go, if your Sparky has already gotten value on defense, which is the goal, because Sparky's really easy to counter in offense. So you want to get that value on defense, you know, take out that Giant or take out that Golem.
Royal Giant, too.
Yeah, oh yeah, it destroys Royal Giant. And then on the counter push, they might drop Barbs on it, or they might drop Skarmy. So if they're doing that consistently, try to either have your Zap ready or counter with Goblin Barrel. So use the Sparky to tank and then throw Goblin Barrel. So they have to respond in 2 areas, you know?
Okay, yeah. And like you said, too, like, I think that's a great point about getting that defensive value from Sparky, because it's a card that you put it beautifully. It's just so easy to counter offensively, but once you get that value defensively, I think there's been so many times when I played Sparky, especially thinking to these draft challenges, because I normally don't play a heck of a lot of Sparky.
Yeah.
But when I have it in these drafts, it seems like, oftentimes the opponent is just forced to throw down whatever to distract it. So in my head, I'm like, oh, there's 3 elixir, there's 2 elixir, there's 2 elixir, that I'm gaining from the Sparky. So even if it doesn't always hit the tower, you're getting a little bit of extra value from it.
And this is like a higher skilled mechanic that you can do with Sparky, but it still is very effective. A lot of people don't have that many Sparky counters, and even the counters they do have are just weird. So like a decent counter, I guess you could say, would be Fire Spirits or Ice Golem or something, but that's not ideal. So when you're using Sparky, you want to try to keep a tab on their hand. So like if they're countering your Sparky every time with barbs, and he on accident blows barbs on the left side, go Sparky Goblin Barrel on the left or on the right. Try to get creative and do something else if you see that they blow their Sparky counter, because while it might not be the best offensive threat, when you have all these other bait cards, you want to force them to use the spell every chance you can.
Okay. So once you see they use their best counter to Sparky, get aggressive, basically.
Yes, if you can afford it. I mean, if you can afford it. You don't want to overextend too hard, but
Yeah, next thing you know, you'll have someone just unloading their entire elixir on the end and be like,
on the other side. Exactly.
TopNotch said to get aggressive. What the hell?
Yeah, you got to be careful, but
All right, well, hey, let's hop in right into the first replay here. I did something a little bit different, and I had you share a loss too. That way we can talk about maybe what went wrong during that loss. So the first one's going to be a win, and I'm going to go ahead and pause it at the beginning until you're ready. Are you ready?
Is it the Golem deck?
It is the Golem deck.
Okay, cool. This is this is a match.
3, 2, 1, play. So tell us a little bit about this starting hand and what your ideal starting hand would be for this deck.
Ironically, this is just about a perfect starting hand. The only thing that could be better would be Inferno Tower for Zap, because he could scar me my barrel and I'd want Zap for it. But other than that, that's pretty much perfect. And I saw that he pumped, so I just put as much pressure down as I could, chipped away 1,000 of his tower. But the best starting hand is Goblin Barrel by far. You want to just Goblin Barrel his tower, and then it's a win-win if you have Princess in your hand, because when you Goblin Barrel, they're either going to log it or use a troop. And if they use a troop, then you can get defensive value with your Princess. So it doesn't matter if they have log, because if you place her right, she should get that shot off anyways.
Okay.
And you'll see here I'm doing the technique I showed you where you don't want to stack your Sparky. He didn't have Zap, but if he did, you don't want to stack the Sparky and Inferno. You want to space them out a bit.
Space them out. Yep. Very nice there.
So it wasn't too good of a Skarmy. I tried to distract his Mega Minion so that so my Sparky could be a little bit more towards full health when it gets to the bridge, but failed on that. So we're just gonna play defense at this point.
Okay. So going back to that starting hand there, you use Goblin Barrel right off the bat there. If they play Elixir Pump and you have Goblin Barrel in your hand, are you always throwing it?
Yeah, always. Okay. Always. And once I found out that he didn't have log, if you know he doesn't have log, you can Goblin Barrel and Princess at the bridge if he doesn't have log. Okay.
And what about if they don't play Elixir Pump? Say they just like split archers in the back. Are you still going to Goblin Barrel at that point, or are you just going to take it easy?
It depends what they play. If they're playing, if they're doing split archers, I'll probably go Princess at the bridge, because Archer can do decent against Goblin Barrel. I mean, Goblin Barrel is still good, so it's not bad, but I think Princess at the bridge would be a little bit better, because it'll take that Archer out.
I noticed that you're playing the Princess almost exclusively at the bridge in this match. Is that how you play her in all circumstances with this deck?
No. Against air, you almost always want to have the Princess on defense, but in this one, I need to pressure because he's getting pumps down, so I'm going at the bridge.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So just spacing out the Inferno Tower. He actually, I think it's through for a little bit here. We'll see. He got a pretty big push down.
Yeah, this is a... Yeah, he's going to get a decent amount of damage here, but luckily you have that tower down to 261 yourself, so...
Yeah. And got his tower pretty low. So basically what happened there is he just converted his pumps into elixir for him on the field and took my tower down. So what we're going to try to do now, I would actually say we have the advantage at this point, because he doesn't have log, and we can barrel his tower and then do because usually when someone barrels your tower and you're playing tank deck, if your other tower's down, you'll just ignore the barrel because it's not going to do too much work if you have 2 towers focusing it. So what you can do, I like to call it a trick barrel. You throw the barrel, and then you drop Knight in the corner at the last second, and it catches him off guard.
Okay.
Because, as you saw, he was going to ignore the barrel.
Yep.
But doesn't get to because now there's a tank.
Wow. And you end up doing 1,000 damage off that.
Yeah,
or more.
2,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ton.
Wow. That was great.
So it's
that's
just
your...
rinse and repeat at this point.
Okay, so the trick barrel, you do that obviously once you have a tower down. That's your go-to.
It works the best if they don't have log because, like I said, they're almost always going to ignore that. If they're playing a tank, expect them to ignore your barrel and don't throw a lone barrel unless you can drop a tank in the pocket.
Awesome. Okay, let's hop into the second replay here. It's going to be against...
The second one is a win against Royal Giant. The third one's the loss, if you want to see the loss.
Okay, well, let's watch the loss, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do from there.
All right.
So...
I'm paused at 0 whenever you're ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, play. So the reason I wanted you to share this one, and props to you for being willing to share losses too. Not all the pros are cool with that, but I think it's one of the ways you get better. And I asked you before we hit record what you thought like the weakest deck to go, or the most difficult deck to go up against with this deck, and you said Lava Hound, but you said there are some methods you can use. So that's why you shared this replay. You're going up against a totally maxed out Lava Hound here. So why don't you tell us a little bit why it's difficult and maybe some substitutions you can make if you happen to be matched up against a bunch of Lava Hound decks, or you suspect that your opponent might be using a Lava Hound deck.
Okay, so basically a lot of people are probably actually wondering why the Knight is in here. It's for Graveyard. He's solely for Graveyard. There's a lot of Graveyard poison going around, as you guys know. So the Knight's for Graveyard poison. If you are finding yourself struggling with Graveyard poison, keep the Knight in there. If you guys are finding yourself struggling against a ton of Lava Hound and Balloon, or just a lot of air decks, you can swap that Knight for minions, and it'll do great. So when you're in this matchup, it's rough, and you're super unfavored. Obviously, Sparky doesn't target air, and he doesn't have anything on the ground. So Sparky's almost not even in this match, really, because it's just going to get countered. So what you want to do in a matchup like this is you kind of don't want to let him get his big push down. So you want to pressure him constantly and just try to chip away at his tower and just be annoying, because if he does get that push down, you're going to be in for some trouble. So as you can see, I'm just trying to keep my princess alive at this point. Like I said, just being annoying, making him spend elixir.
Just being, you're being super aggressive, and it's actually working for you. But the problem you run into obviously is when you get into double elixir, it's more difficult.
Yep. Because they can just be efficient on defense. That's why I don't really like Lava Loon. But anyways, it's a deck, so we got to deal with it. As you guys see, I have the advantage greatly. What I should have done is princessed at the bridge on the right side right there. That was a misplay to go in the back, because now he kind of doesn't have to respond. So at this point, I know my right side tower's likely going to go down. So what I should be doing is trying to get his right side tower. We're actually defending it pretty decent. His balloon goes down. Now his Inferno Dragon's coming. We throw the barrel to distract the Inferno, get our Inferno tower down. And
so far, pretty impressive defense here, given the circumstances.
Yeah. So our tower's gone. I accept the fact at this point, that our tower's gone, and I arrows his for the trade. Probably should have saved Zap. It would have been more efficient. So now we're in trouble. We're down a lot of elixir because we had to waste those arrows. We're going to barrel, drop the Knight to tank, and we'll get a ton of damage through, but not enough.
And this is the big pushy. Yeah. So can people, like I said earlier, if you do anticipate, maybe you're having a friendly battle against somebody, or maybe you're in a tournament or competition where you know what your opponent might be playing, would you recommend, like I said, you put the minions in for the Knight? Is that what you do?
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay. I would recommend putting the minions in for the Knight. And as you guys saw, this is winnable. This is definitely a winnable match, but it's just tough.
Yeah.
And especially this variant that has Inferno Dragon in it, because usually that's like Tombstone or something, so at least I can kind of hit stuff with my Sparky, I guess. I don't know. It's just Sparky doesn't do too much in the matchup.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was
And
tough.
actually, this guy finished first in one of the seasons, so he's a great player. So
Yeah, the name definitely rang a bell. So
Yeah.
do you want to take a look at the RG replay, or do you want to hop into a live match?
Well, it depends. Did you want to get 2 live matches, or did you want to?
Let's do a live match to see how you do.
Okay, cool.
All right,
So
cool.
hopping into the live now.
All right, I got you on the friends list here, so we'll be in. Oh, all right, here we are.
Here we go. So starting hand, Princess, Inferno Tower, Sparky, Zap. Gonna play passive to try to figure out what spells he's got.
Okay.
Usually if I had Goblin Barrel, I'd throw it at his tower, but I don't. Okay, so there goes his log. So we're gonna throw Goblin Barrel and get our Zap ready in case he has Skarmy. And he doesn't, he's got Musk. So we'll get decent chip in.
Yep.
We're gonna go Knight in the back.
Okay.
I want to drop Sparky. Okay, we'll drop Sparky there. And we'll make him force what he wants to zap. If he wants to zap Sparky, he can zap Sparky. If he wants to zap the Skarmy, he can zap Skarmy.
I like that. I like that.
And then the Knight's going to be like our protection. That was a bad play. We should have dropped her on the right side. Because now those minions are going to take out our Sparky. So what we should have done is we probably should have saved enough for arrows in case that happened, or supported the Sparky with our Princess. But it's all right.
Okay.
We still got the lead in the game. We know...
Ooh,
RG. So we know he's got Elite Barbs in RG. We don't have the Skarmy, unfortunately, so he'll zap that.
there's a zap. Yep.
We should be able to take that down, no problem, though.
Yeah. This deck does very well against RG. I mean,
Yeah, it does.
you have
It does pretty
Inferno
well.
and Sparky, so
Yep. So now we know he's probably going to come into this with Elite Barbs. So we're going to try to distract him a bit. And he's not going to, okay. So we really don't want to use Skarmy there. We really wanted to save Skarmy, but because our tower is already kind of low, we were forced to drop it. Now we don't have much for his E-Barbs, so that's a huge threat, and if he realizes that, we could be in trouble, but I don't think he realizes it, or doesn't have the elixir.
Yep. Little misplay there on his power. I think he did have the elixir. Oh, there they are.
So we're going to have to waste Zap just to get to our Knight, fortunately. But luckily for us, that is the side that...
Yeah, other side.
Yeah, so it's okay if we take a couple swings.
Yeah, totally cool.
Perfect. Just what you want against Royal Giant. So we're gonna match him with Sparky, and we're gonna make him log. Okay, so he'll scar me. That's fine. So we'll get great defensive value with our Princess. There goes
And then
his
he logs
log.
too. Yep.
We don't even.
That was
really
beautiful.
That was a bad play. I used Skarmy a little too close to the Inferno Tower, so he was able, or the Sparky, sorry. Skarmy and Sparky too close together. So we'll go ahead and get that down. We're gonna drop Skarmy in the middle to distract the Musk and the E-Barbs, and then we'll drop Sparky on the right, distract Musk. Not the best use of Sparky, but
Had to play something. Yeah.
So we'll go Knight there. That's fine.
Yep.
And we'll go Barrel. He's gonna Skarmy our Barrel.
Yep.
Zap it. Okay. Sorry, pretty hectic game here. Hard to comment and make sense.
No, it's okay. You're doing great, man.
So we'll go ahead and get our Princess down.
Yep.
Arrows that.
Nice arrow.
Thanks. He'll have to zap, but that's not what he wants to use his zap on. So we're gonna go Knight, and I know he's gonna use log. He has log. So we're gonna throw our Barrel off to the side. Nice Skarmy, nice way. That was a great way for him to save log. Or like, he used it nicely.
Yep.
So he's probably gonna zap. And if he does, we got Knight in the back to pull him away. Getting a bit hectic.
Yep.
Drop the Sparky there. Looks like it's going to be a tie. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Wow,
the lightning.
Good game.
I didn't see that coming.
Elite Barbs are rough for the deck if they have Zap and Log. Because it's against
I was going to say, man, yeah, it's tough when they play Zap and Log. It's just like the two best counters to a bait deck and Skarmy, you know?
So, basically, I could have won that still because that's kind of why I have the Knight in there is... if they have Zap and Log, you kind of still need, or Executioner, you kind of need something something to drop that isn't going to die to a spell. But unfortunately, Elite Barbs just have such a high DPS that dropping that Knight wasn't enough. If you want to get one more, maybe we can get one
Yeah,
more.
let's avenge yourself here.
Okay, cool. That was a rough one. Still winnable, but it's rough when they
Looking back, would you do anything differently now that you knew he had lightning there? It was kind of well played, you know?
Yeah, he played it great. He played my hand well. He knew I only had really Skarmy for his E-barbs, and he would just save Zap. Kind of cheese play, but, you know. So I probably would have just tried to use my Knight better, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So we need our Knight to drop on the bowler, so we'll arrows that. Usually it's better to zap if they don't have anything with the minions, but we'll just go ahead and arrows.
Okay.
Because we don't have zap and cycle. And then we'll drop our Knight on the bowler. Now that I know he dropped Musk, it probably would have been better to just drop Inferno Tower. Because I've dealt with him a little bit better, but this will work too. So there goes his zap.
Ooh.
This is going to be interesting. So we'll get Princess down in the back to kind of...
Sparky, the best graveyard counter.
Yeah. So he used Zap, which means he probably doesn't have Log. Okay. So he got a ton of damage in. Now we have to save Knight. You can't use Knight on anything other than the graveyard. You're going to need that because all of our counters for graveyard die to poison. So
yeah, this is gonna be tricky again for you.
This is an excellent situation where Knight's gonna come into play pretty well. Don't have too much of a play here. Don't want to Skarmy into the Ice Golem, so we're gonna just drop Skarmy on the right side.
Force him to zap.
Okay. So we'll get our Sparky down. I don't think he has Graveyard and Cycle yet. No, he does, because he dropped me in the Ice Golem. Okay. So I'm surprised he didn't rush Graveyard there, but he didn't. He has no Zap. So I'm curious to see what he drops in front of the bowler. There's the graveyard. So we'll get our Knight down, get the Princess down. So we're going to get our Inferno Tower. Hopefully the Princess can help rain down a bit on the troops. So he'll poison just that. That's interesting. We're going to get our barrel down.
Oh, he missed your tower there.
Oh, did he? Nice. That's great for us.
Yeah.
So, like I said, usually I had Knight there, but you got to save the Knight. So we're gonna Skarmy and then Knight on the graveyard, and then Princess is a great graveyard counter too, guys. I mean, she's not like the best, but she does work.
Yeah, and look at that Knight Princess combo there. You avoided any damage on that push on that graveyard.
Yeah, so we're gonna arrows his minions preemptively, and if he doesn't drop them, that's
good for you, right? Yeah.
Nice, perfectly placed.
That was beautiful.
We're gonna drop the Knight to distract because
and then
if the Inferno Tower survives, it kills Bowler, which is a 5 elixir card.
It did, yeah, that was beautiful.
However, like I said, can't use Knight in this matchup unless it's for the graveyard. So now we're gonna get punished for it. Gotta really be careful. I mean, even as a really great player, I sometimes blow the card I really need.
Yep, it was still a great value on that Inferno, keeping it alive. You just need to really withstand one more push at this point. Graveyard pushes, I should say. And the poison.
So we're basically just going to survival mode.
Oh, there it is.
So it's so hard to keep Knight when he's your only spell resistant card in your hand. So that's really tough. But that's what you have Knight in there for. If you had minions, that would have been a loss for me almost automatically.
Yeah, because you would have nothing at all.
Yeah. So that's what you got the Knight in there for. Princess helps a ton. Make sure, as you guys saw when I was playing that game, you drop Princess on the right side. So if he's graveyarding your left side tower, make sure she's on the right, because if she's on left, he can get a value poison. So try to keep her away from the Knight and your tower. And then just, drop the Knight. Avoid Sparky. I mean, you can use him, but Sparky's not the best in a graveyard matchup because it just kind of gets clustered. And so if you can, avoid playing him, but worst case, just drop him in the back, and he probably will have to get zapped. So not the worst. But
now, if you took out Sparky from this deck, it would be like way more towards a classic, just zap bait deck.
Yeah.
What would you replace Sparky with if people just want to run this deck in a more traditional format?
Well, it would be a lot different because I wouldn't have arrows in. The only reason I have arrows in is for the Sparky, because Minion Horde is a great counter for it, and minions are pretty good too. So that's what you got the arrows for. So if you wanted to play this deck without, say Sparky, or just say you don't have him, 2 good subs might be Mirror for the arrows, and then like Fireball for Sparky, or just any bait card really. I mean, you could throw minions in there. You could throw minion horde. You could throw guards would even be pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
Anything like that, just replace. Make sure you do both though, because you don't want arrows in this deck without Sparky. So arrows and Sparky. If you want to take out Sparky, just throw in a bait card.
Great, man. Well, dude, I like the deck. I can't wait to give it a try myself. I just wanted to thank you again for coming on and outlining it for us and playing those live matches. It was really cool to watch you play the deck, and you actually did a really good job commentating too. Way better than I could have during a live match. But any shout outs, and where can people find you and reach out to you and see your content?
So my Facebook is TopNotch CR. And then my Twitter, also TopNotch CR. I stream daily at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Want to give a shout out to my clan, Fresno Finest. Awesome leader, K Twice. You'll see us. We're a new clan. We're coming up in all the comp play and stuff, so you guys should see us. We play RPL tomorrow. So
awesome. Well, right, good luck, man. Good luck.
For having me, man. My pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on, guys. Again, make sure you check out all the links that I provide you guys. You can see TopNotch stream, and best of luck to you and your clan. I'll have you on again, man. It was great.
Okay, thanks, man.
No problem. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed TopNotch. I think he was a pleasure talking to the guy. Definitely a wealth of knowledge, and it was a really cool off-meta deck as well. I want to end today's video by giving a shout-out to my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. Make sure you follow him on social media. His Instagram and his Twitter is listed below. Guys, going to end this video by saying, as always, take care, guys.